Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Baseball America fictional set for History Maker Baseball, Ticonderoga Stooges. The Stooges won the first game over Macon, and this is the second of a two-game series. They're all two-game series, so it'll be a total of 44 games in the season, two home, two road against each of the other 11 teams. If we look at the original score sheet from game one, you can see that Ticonderoga won 6-2 as they kind of pounded 16 hits off of what looked to be six Macon Wave pitchers. Did input the game into Action PC using manual entry, and this is the box score that was generated from that. And also used the thumbnail for this video to be the Action PC screen because I'm going to score this game as I play it in Action PC, or at least that's what I'm going to attempt to do. If we look at the score sheet for today's lineup, we're actually going to be using the game day checks because we're now into game two, so we can start using the game day checks. And I've also got the hot and cold players. Dumansil for the Stooges was 5 for 5, so obviously he's the hot player. True Jones was 0 for 4, so he is the cold player for the Stooges. For the Macon Waves, the hot player should be Amato. Actually, it's going to be Arachika. I got that backwards. I got that incorrect. It should be Arachika is the hot batter, not Toussaint. So let me fix that. Just noticed that was an issue. Picked the wrong guy to be the hot player. All right, so the hot player for Macon is Arachika, the catcher, as he hit a home run, was 2 for 4. He is actually going to DH in this game, and the other catcher is going to do the catching. Cold player is Garland Ard at third base, where he was 0 for 3. So that's what we have as far as the hot and cold players. Now it's time to go to the game day checks. And the game day checks, we're going to use this and see whether we're on the sunny side or the stormy side. And of course, the way to do that, we check the win streak. Now, the opponents are always going to be neutral. I learned that from Al Wilson. I kind of like the way he did it. So I'm not rolling any game day checks for Macon. We're doing this totally for Ticonderoga. So they won one game, which means we have to roll a 1 for them to be fully harmonious. And we do. How about that? They got the roll they needed. So they have full harmony in this game where Macon is neutral. So that means since they're fully harmonious, we're on the sunny side of the chart. And we're going to see if there's any kind of a game day perk that might come along. That's a 2. So 2 says we're under the pitching coach. So we're going to go to the pitching coach and roll for that. We get a 4. All right, pitching coach 2 and 4, major perk with reliever. All right, then we need to come down to here and say which reliever. And it is number 4. Reliever number 4 is last used reliever. Well, the last used reliever from the prior game was Houston. So we'll look at the Dion Houston was the last used reliever. So he gets the major perk. Now the question is, what is the major perk? That's a 4 again. Major perk is he is hot until further notice. So that means if it's a right now check or whatever, he will always be hot. So we're going to put that in the till further notice up here for Ticonderoga. We're going to put that relief pitcher Dion Houston is hot until further notice. That's the one thing they're going to have here. And he can stay hot for a lot of games because till further notice, the only way you lose that is if you get 2 more till further notices and it bumps it out. So he is going to be hot, TFN. All right, so there's our scoreboard. We are at Doc Cola Park. It is game number 2. Our imaginary date is May 2nd. The umpires have switched one position. Cross was behind the plate in the first game. Now we've rotated. So Vosberg's at home, Nolan's at first, O'Hara's at second, and Cross is at third. And let's see, the starting pitchers. Hippolito Amato, he is the two-way player, but I'm not doing an Ohtani thing in this league. If he's going to pitch, that means he's not going to hit because we have a DH. And Not going to be playing those special rules. Nobody gets special treatment here. So he'll pitch, but he won't hit. And left-hander Mark Canzone is going to be on the hill for the Stooges. All right, so I think that kind of gets everything out of the way. I just wanted you to see a game day check in case you had never seen one, just to kind of see what goes on with the game day checks. We have our starting lineups here for the Stooges. It's pretty standard except for Tullis, who he's the backup catcher. He's going to catch here in game 2 versus the catcher in game 1, which is their starting catcher, Bear. So we're going to have Tullis catching. And for the Macon Waves, they're going to have Palacios at shortstop. Bostic will do the catching since Arajiga is going to be the DH in the game. So everything else is, I think, is fairly standard. So hopefully we will get this game going and see about if I can score this on the Action PC game without messing things up. So I'm going to look on the computer here first. Looks like you can see the board pretty well. Score sheet is off to the side. There's no way I can show everything. So we will have the little tokens, and as people get on base, I will move the base runners around like that on the base paths, so you can see that. And after every half inning, of course, I will give the score. All right, so let's get the screen over to the Action PC screen so I can start manually inputting these games and keep those stats. All right, so Hippolito Amato, he is a star flash with control, and he's going to be facing Winston Numbers. Numbers is hitting .333. I mean, the averages are kind of funky because it's only been one game, but he is 2 for 6. He did strike out 3 times, though. But Numbers did homer and triple in his first game. That was against a lefty starter, Hurd, and now he's got to face the righty Amato. So now we're underway from Dot Cola Park. 156. 156 the pitcher's blank. It asks the batter a whiffer. Numbers is a semi-whiffer. Dot says he is, so Numbers will strike out. So Amato gets Numbers on strikes, and Numbers has now struck out 4 of the 7 times. He's either feast or famine, apparently. And that brings up Dumanstill. He is the hot batter in this game. He was 5 for 5 in game 1. Same roll, 156. Is he a whiffer? Dumanstill is not a whiffer. So we got outfield drama for Macon. And in their outfield, Clark is iron and Hudson is the center fielder is gold. So right field is iron, center field gold, left field neutral. And that's a 1-5 on the outfield drama chart. Left fielder gold. No, left fielder Barrow is neutral. If he was gold, he'd make the catch on a flyout. Otherwise, it's a single to left field. So a single to left field for Dumanstill, and he is 6 for 6 to start this season. 6 for 6. That result also is in purple. So we're going to the chemistry chart for the at-bat of True Jones. True Jones on the chemistry chart, and on the chemistry chart, the Stooges are harmonious and Macon is neutral. So no decide or die is needed. Hello, Captain Carl. I had something come up this morning, so I couldn't do my normal Strat-O-Matic live stream, so I decided to do this since it's late in the morning, just to mix things up. So we're going to the harmony check. That's a 1-3, and a 1-3 says pitching team harmony. No, they are not, so it's a single. One base advancement puts runners at first and second with only 1 out. So back-to-back base hits, and that result was in blue, but we're going to skip that because the next batter in line, CJ Crone, has not had an at-bat yet, so it doesn't make any sense to me to do hot and cold when the batter hasn't even come to the plate yet. So that gives the pitcher a little bit of a break. He won't have to deal with being a cold situation. So LJ Crone, or Cron, however it's pronounced, I guess it's pronounced Crone. He is your right fielder in this game against Amato. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. He obviously is fresh. So it's a line out to second base. and that is out number 2. Out number 2. And now that's going to turn the order over to Ferrone, the third baseman, Steve Ferrone. He homered in the first game as well. He is a semi-slugger, semi-home run king. 2 on, 2 out. 1-1-4. Yes, it's another freshness check. He's obviously fresh, so it's ground out to short, and that'll do it. So Amato pitches out of the mess, and at the end of a half inning of play, it is the Stooges nothing and the Macon Waves coming to bat. And left-hander Mark Canzone will pitch for the Stooges. He's a lefty. He's got flash and control, his only 2 qualities that he has. And he'll be facing Eric Hudson of the Macon Waves. 1-1-3. Is he ace or dynamic? He's neither one. Is the batter a slugger? He's a semi-slugger, but the dot says no, so it won't double. But he will single to center unless he is a home run king or a sad sack. He's a semi-home run king, so we're going to see if he's a home run king. We already used it once, so we got to use it again to see if he's a home run king. He is not, so he will not. It'll be a single. The single will stand. Leadoff single for Eric Hudson. Hudson's aboard. Leadoff single. This is my first time trying this setup with the Action PC and History Maker, trying to get it all done at one time to see how it flows. Here's Nick Toussaint. 3-4-6 for Toussaint. Blank for the pitcher. Is he eager? He is eager. He will fly to center. He will not draw the walk because he was too eager. So that's 1 away. And a pretty big out to get for Mr. Canzone. You don't want the first 2 guys to get on with nobody out. So the first out of the inning brings up Danny Barrow. He is the left fielder in this game. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. Tullis is semi-iron. The dot says he's iron, so it'll be a walk. Since he's an iron catcher, this particular bat, it will be a walk. He was unable to frame that pitch, and that will be a walk. Put 2 on with only 1 out for the designated hot batter, and that is Dak Arachiga, the catcher, but in this game he's the DH. Got good qualities, hero, slugger. Let's see what he does here. 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's not a star. Is the batter a home run king? He is a slugger, but not a home run king, so he will fly to left. So they just missed a 3-run homer, but fortunately for the Stooges, it turned out just to be a long fly out. So there's 2 away, and that brings up Garland Ard, third baseman. 2-3-3. Ace or star? No, he's not. Is Ard a slugger? No, he's actually a semi-scrapper. So he's going to fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So both teams put guys on, but can't get anybody across the plate. And at the end of 1, score is no score. And now that brings up Jake Van Natter, the designated hitter. He came from the free agent pool. Every team got to add 1 free agent to round out their roster to 25, because when you get the set, it comes with 24, 12 pitchers and 12 batters. I wanted a 13th batter for every team, so each team got to add a free agent from the free agent pool that was a batter. And the order of selection went by who was the projected worst team versus the best team. So since the Stooges were midway, that's about the best guy that was left was Jake Van Natter. 3-4-4. Is the pitcher a prospect? Amato is not a prospect. Is he patient? Van Natter is not patient, so he's going to pop it up to second base. And that's 1 away. So Van Natter is retired pretty simply. 1 down, and that's going to send up Jay Tullis, the catcher. He did not play in game 1. He's catching here in game 2. This will be his first official at bat. He's a lefty, so last game starter for Macon was a lefty, so they went with the righty catcher. But he is a semi-slugger, so maybe he can get into one. 4-4-6. Is the pitcher a star? Yes, he is. Since he's a star, it's a ground out to second base, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down. Go the Stooges here in the second. And again, I picked the Stooges, or I picked this team number 5 because they were projected to be right at 500, and I kind of wanted a middle of the road team. I didn't want a really bad team or a really good team. I wanted something in between. That's why I chose them to be team 5. Here's Miguel Ruelas, the shortstop. That's a 1-3-4, and that's asking, is the catcher gold? And Bostic is not gold. He's neutral. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not. We got outfield drama again for the Macon Waves. It's a 2-6 on the outfield drama. Again, center field is gold. Right field is iron. 2-6. Center fielder Stoic. No, he's actually semi-active as Hudson, so he will make that grab. And see, that's where the speed will play not only on offense but on defense. Since he was not a stoic runner, he had enough range to get to that ball and make the catch. And the Stooges go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the second, still no score from Cola Park. And now the first baseman, Logan Bachman, steps to the plate. 3-4-4. 3-4-4. Prospect pitcher, Canzone's a semi-prospect, but the dot says not this time. Is the batter patient? No, he's actually semi-eager, so he's going to pop it up to second. Had he been a prospect, we would have gone to a fence check for a possible home run, but since he was not in this particular case because of the decide or die being a blank, Canzone catches a break. So there's one away. And that takes us to Lamont Clark. 1-6-6. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not a workman. Is the batter a whiffer? He's semi-whiffer. Dot says he is. So he's going to go down on strikes. And that's actually the first strikeout for Mark Canzone. And that'll bring up the catcher, Brandon Bostic. He did not play in the first game, so he will get his first action. Two, 3, 4. There are no runners on base. Is he a hot batter? No, he's not a hot batter. He's going to pop it up to third, and that will end the inning. So no score after 2, as both pitchers are feeling their way through the lineup. Go to the top of the third. It'll be Greg Dollywall, the left fielder, number 9 hitter, due up for the Stooges. 1-6-6. Pitcher's not a workman. Is he a whiffer? He is not a whiffer, so he's going to ground out to third. And that result was in red, so we're going to the experience chart for the next at bat for Winston Numbers. Amato is neutral on his experience. Numbers is a semi-icon. Let's see if Numbers is an icon this at bat. No, he's not. They're both neutral. So neutral against neutral on the experience. And we get a 2-4. 2-4 on the experience chart. And it says icon batter. No, he's not. If he was an icon, he would deliver a base hit down the line. Otherwise, he grounds to short. So had the dot shown up for Winston Numbers, he would have gotten a base hit. It did not, so he grounds to short, 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down for Craig Dumansil. And again, he is 6 for 6 on the season. 5 for 5 opening day. 1 for 1 so far in this one. Triple 5s. That's usually good for the batters when you do triples, but we'll see. We'll check it out officially and see what comes up. I think the star might get him out of it, though. Let's see. Triple 5s. Ace or star? Yes, he's a star. So it's a deep fly out to right field. If he had not been a star pitcher, that would have been a home run for Dumansil. But because he had the star quality, it's just a deep fly to right. and they finally retire Mr. Dumansil. We go to the bottom of the third, and Armando Palacios, the shortstop, will lead it off for the Macon Waves. And I have my printer turned on downstairs, so when the game is over, I will print the box score and I'll show the score sheet and the box score together. All right, here's Palacios, 255. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's not a star. Is he a home run king? Palacios is actually a scrapper. So he's going to fly to the left, and that's out number 1. So 1 down, and the order flips over to Hudson. Hudson, his first time up, did get a base hit. 1-3-5, that's a rare play. And we go to the color of the dice. A red 1 and a black 3. See where that takes us. Red 1 and black 3. Red 1 and black 3 takes us to memorable plays in the field. So that's where we're going with that. And we get a 55, and a 55 is going to take us to a highlight reel A. Anytime you roll doubles, you get a highlight reel. So we're going to highlight reel A, which is on the next page, rare events. We get a 16 on a rare event. Batter thrown out trying to stretch single into a double. How about that? Now, where did the ball get hit? We have to figure out by the dice. So a 5 or 6, it went to left. 3 or 4, it went to center. 1 or 2, it went to right. So it went to center field. So Winston Numbers throws out Hudson. Hudson singles, but then he is out 8-4, trying to stretch it into a double. So a single. But the batter is out at second. Center field to second base. All right. And the Action PC computer handled it beautifully. Gave him the base hit and it got the out. So worked out very well. So 2 up and 2 down now after he tried to stretch that single into a double. And here's Nick Toussaint. Whoa, hopping dice. Even the small dice are hopping around here. 1, 2, 3, flash and fresh. Yes, he is. He is fresh because we're in the 3rd inning. This is the final inning of full freshness. And he is fresh, and he does have the flash quality, so it will be a strikeout. They will strike out Toussaint to end the inning. Now, going forward in the 4th inning, it'll be semi-freshness, but the dot would have given it to him anyway. But he didn't need the dot in this case. It's a strikeout, and we're scoreless after 3 complete from Macon, from Doc Cola Park. And in game 1, after 3 innings, the Stooges were leading 2-0, but now they got a little bit tighter game to deal with as it's no score. True Jones will lead off for the Stooges. He is a designated Cole batter of the game, although he did get a single his first time up. 2-2-5. Is the pitcher a star? Yes, he is. That's going to be a ground out to the infielder of our choice. So we'll just roll the die and see what it says. It's going to go to short. So True Jones grounds to short for out number 1. Defensive stats for Macon don't matter because I'm only keeping stats for the Stooges. But I am keeping full stats, batting, fielding, everything for the Stooges. Other teams are just keeping win-loss records. All right, here's LJ Crone. 4-5-6 for Crone. Blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? He's actually semi-eager, so he's going to fly to center field. And that results in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at-bat. That's where the Stooges have a slight advantage. They are harmonious, and Macon is neutral. And it's the at-bat of Steve Ferrone on the chemistry chart. And we get a 13, and it says pitching team harmony. No, they're not harmonious. They are neutral. So it'll be a base hit. Steve Ferrone. He gets a base hit. Now, that result is in blue, and since everybody's had a chance to bat, we will go to the right now chart because it makes more sense now. So the right now chart is Jake Van Natter. He popped to second, so he is neutral, but Amato is semi-cold for giving up that base hit. Let's see if he's going to be cold. Nope, they're both going to be neutral on the right now chart, and it's a 25. Right now, hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. If he was, he'd have a single. Otherwise, liner down the baseline fielded by first, a line out to first base to end the inning. So Van Natter lines out, and that'll do it for the Stooges. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still no score from Dot-Cola Park in the heart of Macon, Georgia. It'll be Danny Barrow, Arachiga, and Ard due up for the Macon Waves. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Well, no, he's in semi-fresh territory now because we're in the fourth inning, and the dot was a blank, so he's not fresh. Is the batter a sad sack? He is not a sad sack, so he's going to single past first base. That's a base hit for Danny Barrow, and that's also in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for Arachiga, and Arachiga flew out, so he's neutral, but Canzone is semi-cold. And he will be cold as a bat. So we've got a cold pitcher against a neutral batter. Cold pitcher against neutral batter. And we're going to go to 46 on the right now chart. Hot pitcher, no, he's actually a cold pitcher. If he was, he'd get a strikeout. Otherwise, grounder to pitcher with only play at first base. So the only play is going to be at first base, and the runner Barrow will move up to second. So it'll be a ground ball right back to the mound, but the base runner will advance to second base with one out. So Barrow's at second, one out, or Barrow's at second, one out, I should say, and Garland Ard. 1-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he is not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Ard is a designated cold batter. He's not a whiffer because the dot's not there, but he is the designated cold batter, so that means he will still strike out. Because coming into this game, he was the designated cold batter, so he will strike out. 2 away, runner at second for Logan Bachman. 2, 3, 4 runners on base. Yes, there are. We got plate drama since there are runners on base. And unfortunately for the Stooges, the catcher, Tullis, is semi-iron. Let's see if he's fully iron. He is. He'll be fully iron. Let's see what the plate drama says. Oh, an 11 for plate drama. Wild pitcher. Canzone has control, so it's not going to be a pass ball. It'll be a strike, and we're going to the umpires for the first time since it's a strike. So we are going to the umpires with a runner on second. Runner on second. And that's a 35 with the dot. Runner on second, 35 with the dot. Lenient umpire at second. O'Hara is semi-respected. He is not lenient. So that's going to be a no. If he was lenient, runner gets back to second, close throw, safe. Other umpires call runner out, picked off. So he gets picked off of second base by Canzone. Wow. I don't think I've ever had that result come up before, but there you go. He gets picked off as a second baseman. Dumansil snuck in behind him and picked him off. One to 4 to end the inning. How about that? Talk about catching a break. Well, Bachman's, he's going to stay there. He's going to lead off the next inning because he never got to bat. So we're going to the 5th inning. Top of the 5th, still no score. And here's Tullis. Oh, and some reason the decider die decided not to come out of there. So let's try this again. 1-3-5, and we're at the blue 1 takes us right back to the umpires. And we're going to be with the bases empty this time on the umpire chart. Bases are empty. And we get a 24. Respected umpire at second. He's semi-respected, but the dot says no, so he's not going to be respected. He has better view of play, overrules incorrect call by first base umpire. Batter ruled safe at first. If he's respected, but he's not respected, so that means the batter's going to be out. because he was not respected. So Tullis is out at first base, and let's see, it's going to be a second 4-3 ground out, we'll just call it, since I rolled a 4 there. So since the dot didn't come up, O'Hara's semi-respected, but since he's not fully respected, he was not able to overturn that, and that ground out's going to stand. And that'll bring up Miguel Ruelas, the shortstop, followed by Dollywall. 3-3-5. 3-3-5. Pitcher wild. No. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not a sad sack. He's going to single and steal a base unless he's stoic. He is stoic, so he won't steal, but he will get a single. So Ruelas gets a base hit. 1 out single for Ruelas. And that'll take us to Dollywall, the number 9 hitter. Dollywall grounded to third his first time up. 1 on, 1 out, no score, top of the 5th. 1-2-2. 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion or a whiffer? He's neither one. He's going to line it out to third base, and that is out number 2. So 2 down. It's going to be up to Winston Numbers if the Stooges are going to make any hay here in the 5th inning. Numbers is 0 for 2. 3-3-5. Is the pitcher wild? No, he is not wild. He's got control. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not a sad sack. So he will single to right field and steal if he's not stoic. Well, he's actually double active, which means you would normally steal twice, but he can only steal once because the runner is already at third base blocking him. So it's going to be a single that will move Ruelas to third. Numbers singles and steals second base. He would have stole third, but the runner was already there. So let's put in the single, and that moves the runner to third. And then Numbers steals second base. So now second and third, 2 outs. And for Numbers, that's his first stolen base of the season. So Craig Dumansil, the batter. We get a 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. He's semi-fresh. The dot gave it to him. So it's a line out to second to end the inning. And the Stooges come away empty-handed. Had to feel like a double eye poke on that one. They had chances and couldn't get it through. So line out to second. We'll end it. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with still no score on the board for either side. Due up for the Waves will be Bachman. He was at first when the runner on second, Barrow, was picked off to end the inning. Bachman, 1-1-5. That's a freshness check, but the dot is not there, so he's not fresh. Is he a home run king or a sad sack? He's neither one, so he's going to double to left field. How about that? A double for Logan Bachman to start the 5th inning. First real threat for Macon as they have a leadoff double. That brings up Lamont Clark. 2-3-6 is double control. He doesn't have it. Is the batter eager? He is not eager, so he will walk. So Lamont Clark draws the base on balls, and now first and second, nobody out. And Canzone in a little bit of trouble with Brandon Bostic, the catcher, due up. Could use a double play right about now. 1-3-6, asking if he's an ace, which he certainly is not. Is he whiffer or cold? He's neither one. So we have infield drama for the Stooges. In their infield, Ruelas is semi-iron, the shortstop. Everybody else is neutral. And now everybody's neutral in the infield. Complete neutrality. 1-2 for the infield drama check. Shortstop iron. No, he's not, so he won't make a 2-base error. But however, since he's not gold, he'll make a 1-base error. And that'll put runners, that'll load the bases, actually. So an E6 on Ruelas, and that will load the bases with nobody out. And things going from bad to worse for the Stooges. Mo's not looking happy right about now. Here's Armando Palacios. Infield's back for the double play. They need outs. 1, 2, 3 is Flash and Fresh. He's got it because he's semi-fresh. The dot says he is, and the flash is there, so that's a huge strikeout. They strike out Palacios, and now a double play would get him out of the inning. However, the order does flip over to leadoff man Hudson, and Hudson in this game has singled twice. One, two, three, Flash and Fresh. He did it again. Another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks because that Desired I told him he was fresh. Although, that's a bad break. Had that been a blank, that would have been a ground out to short for a double play. It would have ended the inning. But since he was fresh, according to the dot, it's going to stay. It's going to stay. All right, something didn't happen here. Let's see here. I need to do some undoing here on this computer because something happened where I didn't get. Now I got to figure out how to do the undo button. Oh, that's where I'm getting into trouble. Where do I get the undo button? I knew I was going to run into trouble with this first time thing. Trying to remember. I know the rules are set up for the undo button. I just have to. Oh, delete last play option wasn't on there. Now it is. For some reason I didn't have the delete last play button on there. I don't know why. All right, I'm going to have to fix this later. I don't want to hold up the stream, so I won't be able to print the box score after all. We'll just have to play with it. All right, so bases are loaded, 2 outs, and Toussaint is your batter as Hudson struck out. It's going to have kinks in it, that's for sure. That's operator errors, not the Action PC's fault. It's my error. 4-4-5. As we look at 4-4-5, it's asking, is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not. Is the batter patient? Toussaint is actually eager. So instead of walking to force in a run, he will ground to first, and that will end the inning. Still no runs. They leave the bases loaded. Do the Macon Waves. They leave them loaded. And that will take us to the 6th inning. True Jones, the batter. 1-2-5. Pitcher is not a struggler. Is True Jones patient? No, he is not. He will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. Dot says he is, so he will actually strike out. So True Jones out on strikes. It'll bring up LJ Crone. 3-5-5 for Crone. Struggling pitcher? No. Is he a champion? No, he's certainly not a champion. He'll ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. Dot says he is, so it's another strikeout. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. Brings up Ferrone. 3-5-5, same result. Is he a champion? No. He's going to ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He is a whiffer, so he's going to strike out the side. Does Amato. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, still no score. Here's Danny Barrow. We get a 1-5-6. Is he a whiffer? Is Danny Barrow a whiffer? No, he's not. So we got outfield drama for the Stooges. And then the outfield numbers is gold. Everybody else is neutral. Numbers in center field is gold. And we get a 1-3. And 1-3 says center fielder iron. No, he's not. So he's going to make the catch on a line out. So Barrow will line out to Winston Numbers for out number 1. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Arachiga. 5-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No. Does he have a good eye? No, he does not. It's a strikeout. Out number 2, and that's going to the right now chart for Garland Ard. Ard struck out his last time up, so he is cold. Canzone just got that strikeout, so he is hot. So we got a hot pitcher against a cold batter. And we get a 45 on the right now chart. Cold batter, yes, he is swinging a missed strikeout. If not the third batter, not the third out, the next batter would strike out, but it is the third out, so he will not cause the next guy to strike out. He just strikes out on his own. So both pitchers, 6 shutout innings. And normally the rule is when you go to the 7th inning, you lose the semi-freshness. However, if you keep the shutout going, as they have here, if you keep that shutout going, then you, hello, Kenyon. If you keep the shutout going, at least somebody's there. If you keep the shutout going, then that means they keep their semi-freshness. Now, what I'm going to do is, since it's opening or only the second game of the season and their first starts, I'm going to cap them at 7 innings regardless. So neither pitcher will pitch more than 7 innings. So here's Jake Van Natter. And that's a 1-3-5. And again, back to the umpire chart because of the blue 1. So we're going to bases empty on the umpire chart. And we're right here in the umpire section for bases empty. And we get a 1-6. Strict umpire at home. Bosberg is semi-strict, but the dot is a blank, so he is not strict. If he was strict, check swing disallowed, strike 3. Other umpires, ball 4. So since he wasn't strict, the check swing is allowed, and Van Natter will reach via the walk. So they got a break by Vosberg. He was not strict on that particular at bat. And here's Jay Tolis, catcher. 2-4-6. Go back to the main chart. Does the pitcher have control? Yes, he does. So it's a ground out to the pitcher. And on a lead die of 2, it is a fielder's choice. So it's going to go 1-6 with the left-hander at the plate. 1-6 fielder's choice. Tullis is the new runner now. And here's Ruelas with 1 out. 2-2-3. He's not wild. Is the batter a slugger or utility? He is utility. So that means he's going to line it to short unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer, but the dot says no. So the line out to short will stick for out number 2. And that'll send up Greg Dollywall. We get a 1-1-6. Is he fresh? No, the dot doesn't come up this time. He's not fresh. Is he utility or sad sack? Dollywall, semi-utility. We have to see if he's utility. He is not. So that'll be a single to left field for Dollywall. Lead die of 1, you get 1 base advancement. So runners are at first and second with 2 outs. And now it's Winston Numbers time. But I'm thinking the Wave are going to make a move to the bullpen. They want to bring in a fresh arm and gain that ace quality. So they're going to bring in a fresh arm out of the bullpen. And we're going to find somebody that did not pitch in game 1 because they used quite a few guys. In game 1, let's see who did not pitch. Boyle did not pitch. Rothermel Mertzel did. Castile did. Padilla did. So it's either going to be Detweiler or Boyle, but they're both left-handed, so that wouldn't make any sense. They're going to bring in a righty, regardless of whether he pitched or not. Most of their bullpen's lefty, unfortunately. They're going to bring in Hector Padilla. Yes, it is, Kenyon. It's not some people's cup of tea, which is fine. That's why there's only 7 people here, because a lot of people don't care for the game, but that's fine. I like the game, so I'm going to play it. All right, so the new pitcher is, and if nobody shows up, that's fine too. I'll just enjoy it by myself. So Padilla, in fact, most of these I'll probably record going forward instead of live streaming. Padilla is going to be your new pitcher, and he's going to face Winston Numbers. So we'll get the numbers on, pardon the pun, we'll get the numbers on Amato. And Amato is going to go 6 2/3 actually. And he's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So far, no runs. He has walked 1, and he has struck out 1, 2, 3, 4. Struck out 4. But again, he's responsible for the 2 guys on base. So we'll see how he does. He is going to be an ace this particular. He's got flash and semi-control, but since he's coming in the middle of an inning, he gets to gain a quality, and by default, you usually give the guy an ace. That's the quality you want to gain. So Padilla will be an ace against Winston numbers. 2-2-4, I believe that's a pitching at home result. And it is, and they are pitching at home, so they get the home cooking there on a pop out to short. And that will end the inning. So that ends the inning. Still no score. 7th inning stretch time. And it'll be Bachman, Clark, and Bostic against Canzone. This will be his last inning. Hello, Dr. D. He still has semi-freshness because he's pitching the shutout. 2-5-6. Struggler, no. Champion or patient, none of those. So infield drama for the Stooges. And in the infield, Ard and Bachman are both semi-iron. So we'll see if they're going to be iron this at bat. No, they will not. Everybody's going to be neutral in the infield. And that's a 3-5 on the infield drama. Third baseman iron, no. Ard would have been iron, but the dot says he's not this time, so he's not an iron third baseman, so it won't get by him for a single. It'll be a ground out instead. 1 away for Lamont Clark. 2-2-3. He's not wild as a batter, slugger, or utility. He's neither one. So he's going to single to left field. Active, he would steal. He's not active, so he will not steal, but he will get the base hit for Lamont Clark. So runner on first, 1 out for Brandon Bostic. 2-3-5. Pitcher's not wild. Is he eager? Bostic is eager, so he'll single through the hole at shortstop for a base hit. That time being eager was a positive. First and second, 1 out, and this might be near the end for Canzone as well, as he's nearing fatigue, and they may want to get another pitcher in there. I think they will. I think they're going to make the move. So Canzone will go 6 1/3, but they want a fresh arm in there that they might be able to pull the ace out and get him out of a hole. That's the plan anyway. So they will go to the bullpen. They only used 2 pitchers in the first game, so the only ones I don't want to use are Perez and Houston. Although Houston does get that perk about being hot till further notice, but I still don't want to use him. We will go with Benny Quinones. So Canzone will leave, and lefty Benny Quinones will come on. Semi-flash, semi-control, and of course he will be an ace on this first at bat. Will Quinones. Canzone, 6 1/3 innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Walked 2. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Struck out 7. But he is responsible for both runners on base. So Quinones coming on, and he will get the ace quality this particular at bat. So Palacios is your batter. He's a switch hitter. That's a 1-3-4. Gold catcher, no, he's an iron catcher, so that's not good. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not. So we got an outfield drama. And again, numbers is gold. Everybody else is neutral in the outfield drama. We get a 1-2 outfield drama. Right fielder iron. No, he's not iron. Right fielder Crone is neutral. So it won't be an error. He'll be a routine fly out. So that's out number 2. 2 down. Now Quinones loses the ace quality. It goes back to his normal qualities of semi-flash with semi-control. And he's going to face Hudson. 2 outs and 2 on. We got a 2.56. The pitcher is not a struggler. Is the batter champion or patient? He is a hero, but he's not a champion. So we have infield drama now. And we're going to check and see. Yep, this time the semi-iron third baseman and first baseman, they're both iron. So, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong team. Ruelas is iron, the shortstop. He's the only one that's iron. Everybody else is neutral. 3-6 on the infield drama. Third baseman, gold. No. Ferrone is neutral. He's not gold. If he was gold, it'd be a ground out. Otherwise, safe on an error. So that's going to load the bases. Another error on the Stooges, E5 on Barone. And that will load the bases for Toussaint. Lefty on lefty matchup against Quinones with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Toussaint 0 for 3 on the game. 1-3-3. Pitcher is blank. Is he a slugger? He's a semi-slugger, but the dot says no. So it will not be a grand slam home run. It'll be a fly to left. Had that been a dot, that would have been a grand slam because he's a semi-slugger, but the dot says no. And the 1-3-3, 1-3-3 slugger would have been a home run to center field. But he's a semi-slugger, and the dot said no. So Quinones escapes big time, and so do the Stooges. And they get out of the inning with no runs scored. So both starters are going to be no decisions as they get everything they need there. Quinones is going to be done. Padilla only faced one batter, so I think he's going to stay out there. But Quinones is done. They're going to want a righty coming up in the 8th inning. But we go to the 8th inning, no score. Not much offensively happening here. And leading off will be Dumansil against Padilla, who is now semi-fresh. That's a 2-3-6 double control. He's not eager, so that's going to be a base on balls. Base on balls to Dumansil. And that'll bring up True Jones. True Jones, the batter. 1-6-6. Is he a workman? No, he's not. Is he a whiffer? Semi-whiffer. Dot says he is, so he struck him out. That actually was a good thing because if it wasn't a whiffer, it would have been a double play ground ball. So at least he only get 1 out instead of 2. Here's L.J. Crone. 1-1-6. Is he fresh? He's semi-fresh, but the dot gives it to him, so that's a strikeout. 2 down. We go to the bottom of the we about ready to go to the bottom of the 8th, but there's 2 outs. Runner at first for Steve Ferrone. 1-2-2. Is he a workman? No, he's not a workman. Is he a champion or a whiffer? He is a whiffer, so that means he's going to nub a single to third base. Infield single. Nubber up the line. Puts runners at first and second with 2 outs for Van Natter. But with him being a righty, I think they're going to go to the bench for a lefty. He was starting because of the lefty pitcher. So they will go to the bench for another designated hitter, and they're going to go for a lefty. And the lefty off the bench they're going to use is going to be Mark Randazzo. He will get his first action of the season. So Randazzo will take over for Van Natter as the DH here in the 8th inning. So 2 on, 2 outs. Padilla to Randazzo. 2-5-6. He's not a struggler. Is Randazzo champion or patient? Neither one. So it's infield drama. We'll see if those semi-irons are going to be iron. They will not. Everybody's going to be neutral in the infield for Macon. 2-5. Infield drama, 2-5. Second baseman iron. No, it's going to be a routine ground out to end the inning. And that'll be it for Padilla. He goes an inning and a third and gets out of the mess. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still no score. New pitcher for the Stooges is going to be coming on as well, but we'll clean up Padilla. Padilla gave up a hit and a walk, and he struck out 2. Gave up nothing else. Quinones went 2/3 of an inning and didn't give up anything. So now they go to the bullpen for the bottom of the 8th. They'll be facing Barrow, Arachiga, and Ard, a bunch of right-handers. They're going to go to a right-hander out of the bullpen. And it will be Benny Kaneshiro. So Kaneshiro will be making his first appearance of the season. And he will be facing Danny Barrow. Unless they want to go to the bench. Do they have a lefty they might feel better with? But Barrow is a home run king. Kind of hate to take him out. They don't have much on the bench as far as outfielders go, that's for sure. So they're going to stick with Barrow. 3-3-6. Is he ace? No. When he come in the start of an inning, you do not gain the ace quality, so he's not an ace. It's a matter of Sadsack utility. Oh, he is utility, so he's going to take a called strike 3. So Barrow out on strikes. Danny beg, steal, and Barrow. And he borrowed a strikeout there. Here's Arachiga. 1-2-4. That is a control check. He does have the control quality, so it's a ground out to short. 2 down. We're 1 out away from going to the 9th with no score. Here's Garland Ard. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes. That's going to be a ground out to short. I'm sorry, no, it's going to be a pop out to the infielder by choice. So that will be a pop out. Well, not to the pitcher. Let's pick somebody else. Pop out to second. And that will end the inning. So now we go to the 9th. Still tied, no score. Due up is Tullis, Ruelas, and Dollywall. 2 out of 3 are left-handed. So they will go to Larry Boyle out of the bullpen. He did not pitch in game 1. So Larry Boyle will be on for the Macon Waves. He's flash in control, but does not gain the ace because of the coming in to start the inning. Tullis is 0 for 3, so they're going to pinch hit for Tullis, I believe, with the other catcher. And that's going to be Easton Bayer. He is a righty. So they will go to right-hander Easton Bayer, and Bayer will stay in the game to catch for Tullis. And that takes away the semi-iron quality on defense as well, which definitely helps. So Bayer will lead things off against Boyle. 1-5-5. Is he a home run king? No, he's not a home run king. He's a scrapper, so he will fly to center. 1 away. I don't think I had any home run kings on the bench. Nope. Both players on the bench were no power whatsoever, so Bayer flies out 1 away for Ruelas. That's a 2-3-6 double control, but he is eager, so it's just a 2-ball count. That is my house rule to limit the number of walks, particularly in a DH league when the pitcher is not hitting. If the batter's eager, it's a 2-ball count. So since he was semi-eager and the dot came up, it's a 2-ball count. At least that's the only way I'm playing it. So now 2-ball count, 2-2-4. It's the pitching at home again. So the second time they've got the home cooking on that pop out to short. So I got 2 home field advantage rolls in this game. And here's Dollywall, the left fielder. He's 1 for 3. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Yes, it's his first inning, so he does get a liner to second. And that will end the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 9th, still no score. It'll be Bachman, Clark, and Bostic due up. Kaneshiro has gone 1 inning, but he retired all 3 that he faced. So I think they're going to leave him in there. He's now semi-fresh. There's Bachman. 2-3-6 is that double control, but he is eager. He's semi-eager with the dot, so it's a 2-ball count. 2-ball count on Bachman. 2-5-6, not a struggling pitcher. Is he champion or patient? Neither one. So at infield drama. Ruelas is semi-iron. See if he's going to be iron. He will. So Ruelas is iron at short. Everybody else is neutral. And that's a 1-5. Shortstop iron. Yes, he is. It's going to get through for a single. And it's going to take us to the chemistry chart for the next at bat. So it's a single by Bachman. But we will not go to the chemistry chart because they're going to bunt. And the bunt play overrides the chemistry chart. And bunting is pretty simple in this game. If I move this over here, the bunt chart's right here. We get a 3, which says out at first. So pretty simple there. Nothing mind-boggling. The runner advances. Let's see who he bunted it to. He bunted it to third. So it's going to be a sacrifice hit. 5-4. And Bachman, the winning run, will take second base with 1 out. For the catcher, Bostic. And you got to pinch in for him because if you don't, you're going to lose your DH because the other catcher is DH. So they're going to stick with Bostic. 1-4-4. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. But it's going to the umpire chart. If we look at 1-4-4 in the book, the umpire chart says the goggles right here. So we go over here to goggles. And where to go here? Goggles. Here we go down here. Questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4. He's questionable. Vosberg is questionable, so it will be a walk. It will not be a strikeout. So Vosberg, the umpire, questionable call, and that moves it over. And now the Stooges are going to go to the bullpen for none other reason than to try to get an ace pitcher in there. So they're going to go to another pitcher out of the bullpen, and it will be Dade Naraki. Dade Naraki. Kaneshiro is going to go 1 1/3 innings. He's going to give up a hit and a walk. He is responsible, and he did strike out 1, but he is responsible for the other runners. But now Rocky will come in as an ace now since he's coming in the middle of an inning. So he's a star, ace, semi-flash, semi-control. First and second, 1 out, bottom of the 9th, no score. And Amado Palacios is your batter. That's a 1-2-4, and that's a control check. He's got semi-control. The dot gives it to him, so that's a ground out to short. And with the lead die of 1, it's a double play. So it's a double eye poke right there against the Macon Waves. They get poked in the eye there twice on the double play, and that's going to end the inning. And we're going to extra innings at no score. First 9, couldn't decide it. We're scoreless after 9. Don't know if I've played a game in History Maker Baseball where the score was scoreless after 9, but heck if we don't have it now. So Boyle pitched 1 inning. He retired all 3 that he faced. But do they want to let him pick? Because you got Numbers and Dumansil, both righties coming up. So I think they're going to go to their bullpen for another pitcher, a right-hander. And the right-hander is going to be Jordan Castile. Oops. Jordan Castile. So Castile will come on. Boyle pitched 1 inning, gave up nothing. They want to keep a fresh arm in there. He does not gain the ace quality because he's coming in to start the inning, but he does have the platoon advantage, righty versus righty. And on that 3-5-6 is where you get that roll. So top of the order here in the top of the 10th is Winston Numbers. 1-3-4. Gold catcher. Bostic is neutral. He's not gold. It's better champion. He's a semi-champion, but the dot let him down, so he won't get a single. Instead, we have outfield drama. And for the Wave in the outfield, Clark is iron and Hudson is gold. So gold in center, iron in right, neutral in left. And we get a 46. Left fielder iron. No, left fielder is neutral. Barrow is neutral, so he's not iron. It will not be a single. It'll be a line out. Out number 1, and that's in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart. And again, Stooges are harmonious. Macon is neutral per the game day checks. 56 on the chemistry chart. Pitching team dissonance. No, they're not dissonant. They are neutral. So it will be a strikeout. Strikeout Dumansil. And that's a right now roll. So we're going to the right now chart. True Jones struck out his last time up, so he's cold. And Castile, plus he's a designated cold batter on top of it. Castile just got the strikeout, so he's hot. So we got a hot pitcher against a cold batter. We get a 34, hot pitcher against cold batter on the right now chart. 34, cold batter, yes, weak dribble to pitcher. Batter slump affects team, side, retired, alternating groundouts and pop-outs. Well, it's the third out of the inning, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't carry over. It'll just be a weak dribbler back to Castile. And we go to the bottom of the 10th. Still no score. Naraki got the double play ball and the only batter he faced, so he's going to stay in there for the 10th against Eric Hudson. 1-2-4 is the control check. He's got semi-control, but the dot this time let him down, so he does not get the control quality. Is the batter eager? Hudson is semi-eager. We have to re-roll to see if he's going to be eager or not. He is eager. So since he is eager, he will end up popping out to first base instead of walking. So a little bit over anxious there. Didn't draw the walk. He pops out to first base where True Jones takes it. One away. And here's Nick Toussaint. 1-2-5. Pitcher is not a struggler. Is the batter patient? No, he's actually eager. So he will not walk. He will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. The dot says he is, so he will actually strike out. So 2 down. 2 away. Somehow these boards got a little bit off kilter here. Don't know how that happened, but it did. See if we can fix that. So 2 away for Danny Barrow. He's the only one standing in the way of this in the 11th inning. 1-3. Is the pitcher ace or dynamic? No, he's not. It's a batter, a slugger. Barrow is a home run king, but not a slugger. Single to center field unless he's a sad sack or home run king, which he's a home run king, so he's going to strike out. And that will end the 10th. That'll be all for Naraki as well. So we go to the 11th. Still haven't had anything decided. And Castillo will pitch a second inning since he, or will he? Let's see. We got lefties coming up. Yeah, they're going to go to a lefty out of the bullpen. They've got some lefties that did not pitch in game 1. So they will go to Sean Detweiler. Sean Detweiler is on. Castile pitched 1 inning, gave up nothing with a strikeout. And now Detweiler is on. And Detweiler will be facing Crone, Ferrone, and Randazzo. All 3 left-handed batters. So they're playing their percentages lefty-righty. Oh, triple once. He would be an ace, but you don't get the ace quality when you start the inning, so he's not an ace. Is a batter a scrapper? He is not a scrapper, so that's a home run for L.J. Crone to start the top of the 11th inning. Those triple ones, very Appa-like. Triple ones is a home run, and Crone greets Detweiler with a home run on those triple ones. And now, bullpen activity for the Stooges is they will get Mark Gautreaux. He will be coming in to pitch the bottom of the 11th for the Stooges, as they now lead it 1-0 here in the top of the 11th inning. Ferrone steps to the plate, and Petcola Park groans, as somebody once said. 3-3-6, ace or dynamic? No. Sad sack, utility, or patient? He's none of those. So he's going to single to center field, Will Ferrone. And that's in red, so we're going to the experience chart. He's a semi-prospect. Randazzo, also a semi-prospect. Now they're both prospects on the experience chart. And we get a 56 on the experience chart. Icon pitcher, no, he's not an icon pitcher. So instead of a pop out, we got an infield drama. So we're going back to the infield drama chart. And the semi-iron guys of Ard and Bachman will be iron. So first and third baseman are iron. 36 on the infield drama. Third baseman gold, no, he's not gold. So it will not be a ground out. It'll be an error. And that's going to put runners at first and second, nobody out. And they're starting to fall apart here in the top of the 11th. That home run must have gotten to him. Randazzo reaches, and here is Easton Bear, the catcher. (1-3-4) for Easton Bear. And a 1-3-4 goal catcher. No. Catcher Bostic is neutral. Is a better champion? No, he's not a champion. So we got outfield drama this time. And Hudson is gold. Clark is iron. Right fielder iron, center fielder gold. 1-2. Right fielder iron. Yes, he is. Safe on an error. So that's going to load the bases. Second error of the inning. This one on Lamont Clark. And Detweiler's got to feel kind of snake bit here. It really hasn't been his fault. He just ran some bad luck here. He's got that double flash. If he can get some strikeouts, he can get some outs right in a row there. But here's Ruelas. The infield is in now. They have to come in. They're already down one. 1-3-6. He's not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? He's a semi-whiffer, but the dot says no. Is he cold? His last at bat, he popped to short, so he's not cold. So again, infield drama, which means potentially more errors, although now all the infield is neutral. No iron infielders. We get a 1-2 again on the infield. Shortstop iron, no. So it will not be a two-base error, but since he's not gold, it will be a one-base error. And that is the third error in a row. And Captain Carl, I know you play this game. I don't think you probably never had 3 errors in a row. But we just got them right here. 3 errors in a row. And it's now 2-0. Dollywall, the batter. Bullpen activity for the Macon Waves, but it might be too late at this point. They will look for some relief from somewhere. And it looks like righties are coming up after Dollywall. So, boy. Well, they're going to bring in a lefty right now, Nagasek. Nagasek will come on. He will gain the ace quality. That's what they're counting on. But Detweiler didn't get anybody out. So far, he's given up 2 runs and 2 hits, but the 3 errors, really got him snake bit. But he will be an ace at bat. Infield is in, of course, against Dollywall. 2-2-5. 2-2-5. Is the pitcher a star? He's a semi-star. The dot says he is. It's a ground out to the infielder of our choice. And on a lead die of 2, so we got the infield in chart right here. Lead die of 2, bases loaded, double play, runner out at home. Okay. So they turn the double play. It's the infielder of our choice. So we're just going to say he grounds it back to the pitcher. And they get the double play. Runner at third is safe. Runner at first goes to second, but they get the out at home and at the plate. So we're going to count that as a 1 to 2 to 3 double play. And out of there at the plate is Randazzo. Bear goes to third, and Ruelas goes to second. But now there are 2 outs, so they get the big double play. If they can get out with just 2 runs, they might have a chance. First base is open. They're not going to pitch to Winston Numbers. They're going to intentionally walk him. And they'll deal with Dumansil with the bases loaded. But you're not going to, with first base open, you're not going to pitch to a guy with that kind of numbers there. So here now is Dumansil. Dumansil, bases loaded, 2 out. Oh my goodness, a triple. The inning started with a 1-1. Now we got a 666. That doesn't look good. Is he an ace? No, he's not an ace. He was an ace the previous at bat. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's not. It's a deep drive glove. Deep drive glove. So we got the glove section here. And the only way you can stop a home run is to have a gold outfielder somewhere. And they have Hudson, who is gold in center field. So the only gold center fielder check is a 2. If you roll a 2, he's got a chance, but still not a good one, but he's at least got a chance. Anything other than a 2, we got a grand slam home run. And that's gone. Grand salami for Dumansil. All these runs are unearned that just came in on that home run, but they all count. So after having a scoreless 10 innings, we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 runs on the board here in the what is now the 11th inning. So how about that? You go scoreless through 9, and then you get nothing in the 10th. So you actually go scoreless through 10, and now you got 6 runs here in the top of the 11th. The grand salami by Dumansil, but it's all because of the 1-1s that started the inning with a home run and the 666s that end the inning with a home run. Very, very strange indeed. Here's True Jones, 155 for True Jones. True Jones, 155. Is he a home run king? True Jones is a semi-slugger, not a home run king. So he'll fly to center. So the Stooges send 9 to the plate, and all 6 of them score. That did not make an out. It is 6-0. Gatra will come in. It will definitely not be a save situation, to say the least. Naraki is going to go an inning and 2/3. 2 strikeouts, nothing else. So the guy that's going to be on the hook for the loss is going to be Detweiler. Detweiler is charged with 2 runs. Okay, I think we are back, if I'm not mistaken. Just wanted to close the loop on this game. Didn't want to have it a drop off there. Somehow Xfinity decided to act up on me. But there is the final score sheet, and I will put this game in. Yes, I am back, Captain. I always try to come back when that happens, just to try to close the loop for people watching the game later. I just don't want to drop off and be nothing. But there you go. It's kind of a messy score sheet, actually, particularly the 6th inning. But a leadoff home run by Crone on 1-1s, a single, and then 3 consecutive errors. They did get the double play home to first, then the intentional walk in numbers, and then Dumansil rolled a 666, and that was a grand slam, and that was all she wrote. 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error for the Stooges. No runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors for Macon. Stooges now 2-0, Macon now 0-2, and we'll have to see. I'll have to check the schedule and see who the Stooges are playing next. I think they're still on the road somewhere, but I don't know where. But there you have it. The winning pitcher is Naraki. The loser is Detweiler. And so an interesting game there. Scoreless through 10, and then 6 runs all of a sudden in the top of the 11th. Go figure. Very Appa-like with those 1-1s and 666s. So there you have it. I will have to go back into the Action PC game and redo this in the system because something got messed up on that one play where I had the I forget which play it was, but it had somebody scoring when they shouldn't have scored. So because there was no scoring in this game until the 11th inning. So I'll fix that on the Action PC computer because I am using the Action PC manual entry. That's on all the Stooges games. The other games, for the other teams, I will be using the universal instant results chart based on the team's winning percentages, and I'll just keep wins and losses on the other teams and see how they do compared to the Stooges. Again, there's 12 teams in the league. It's a 44-game schedule. Each team, particularly the Stooges, will play the other 11 teams, 2 at home, 2 on the road. So they finish their 2 in Macon. They'll face Macon again at home somehow later in the season. They could play 22 road games, 22 home games, total of 44 games. And then if they make the playoffs, we'll do playoffs. But we'll see how that happens. So there you go. Just say Mo. So the Macon Waves and the Ticonderoga Stooges finish up their series with the Stooges sweeping both games on the road, of all things. Definitely was not expecting that. That's for sure. Tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll be back on my normal Strat-O-Matic schedule. And schedule game is supposed to be Texas and Minnesota, 1987 American League. And that's going to be Ed Correa against Juan Berenguer is the schedule for that one. So I will be putting this in the computer once I get it all straight. Not sure how well this will show up on camera, but we'll see if I can pull it off or not. Dim this light. We'll dim both lights. How about that? But these are the standings after the first game. Of course, the other teams I have not played yet, but you can see Ticonderoga beat Macon in the first game with Shockey over Hurd and Dumansil going 5 for 5. So now I'm going to put the second game in there, but I am using the Action PC to do that. So it's a nice, I was going to use Strat-O-Matic, but Strat-O-Matic was getting finicky with me, so I decided to use Action PC, and that turns out, I think, to be a good choice. I just have to, the only 2 teams I've got in there right now with all the players are these 2 teams. I've got all the other teams in there, but I don't have the players. So whoever the Stooges play next, that's when I'll go in and add those players. And then that way I can do it a little bit at a time, kind of piecemeal it and not feel like I'm overwhelmed. Because we got a lot of stuff going on as far as games go. We got the 87 replay in the American League. We got the Demolition League and the 2020 Imagine set. And now we got this one. So later tonight, probably at some point, we'll have the next game in the Demolition League. That'll be Oakland and Milwaukee from Milwaukee in the 2020 Imagine set. I've already got the score sheet set up for it. It will be Frankie Montas against Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff actually pitched the opening day game for the Brewers, so it will not be Corbin Burns. It'll be Woodruff. He will pitch against Frankie Montas. It'll be the Oakland A's and the Milwaukee Brewers. Since it's at a National League park, the pitchers will be hitting. And from what I've seen, even the National League teams, they just gave every pitcher a universal pitcher hitting card number 1. And so that's all I'm going to have to use on this replay is pitcher hitting card number 1, because they don't have anything special for any other pitchers. So some pitchers got run ratings above 10, but nobody has. I don't think anybody's got a pitcher hitting card over 1. So anyway, just wanted to close the loop on this with this game being over. Unfortunately, great game through 10 innings, and then the top of the 11th, all hell broke loose. The 111s, the 666s with 3 errors in between. Very, very odd stuff, but Mo's pretty happy about it. And even though he doesn't look happy, he is happy. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, rest of your Wednesday. It is hump day. And I should be back on this evening at some point to do the Demolition League game. Probably around, I don't know, maybe around 9 o'clock or so. 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere in that neighborhood, probably closer to 9. I'll try to let Robert get through most of his inside pitch game, although I really have no interest in the inside pitch advanced. I like the inside pitch normal, not the inside pitch advanced, but that's just me. And some people like the advanced, so more power to them. It's just not for me. So that's going to do it from here. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.